Go ahead and call the meeting to order. We made a motion to approve the minutes from previous meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the claims.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Engineers report.
Yeah, I'm just working on getting the pre-con set up for the hangar. So that's still underway. Still communicating back and forth with FCN on the financing. So nothing really new to report there.
Excuse me, Paul, did you have an opportunity to meet today?
I didn't hear back from them. So
Let me ask Andy a question. Andy, and I know you can't be
Right.
involved in this, but have you been following the emails?
I've not received anything
I don't
from.
think he's on the email.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not on the chain, which is probably good.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you need from them? Are they just not replying to emails and not giving, are you talking with Tom? Or are you talking with Tom? Okay.
No, it's really, we don't need anything other than whatever they need for the
Okay.
underlay.
Okay.
So he had submitted kind of 3 items. One of them was a request for FAA approval. One was a copy of the grant that we had received, and one was a legal opinion that would be drafted by council and Aaron. So the latter two, the grant and the legal opinion, I think are pretty easy. We already gave them a copy of the grant. The FAA approval, and this is where we keep going back and forth a little bit. The FAA is not gonna approve it because it's not really between the FAA, it's between the community and the bank.
Okay.
The FAA doesn't, they don't care.
Yeah.
So he asked for the contact name of the person. We went ahead and gave it to him. But I think if he calls, his name's Jeremy Riley. So if he calls Jeremy Riley, it's not that big a deal. I think he's just gonna tell him, this is between the community and
Yeah.
yourselves. Just note that the interest isn't eligible, which we know that the interest on the loan is not an eligible expense under the grant, but everything else is. So, yeah, that's where it's at. So I suggested that we write the legal opinion, and if he wanted somebody that would approve the loan, then the appropriate entity would be the Department of Local Government Finance, because in the state statute, it says the local government finance can review and approve. Although the last several times that we've done it, they just say, thank you. But they don't really say yes or no. They just acknowledge that you're doing it as long as the council. So I don't know, maybe they're just looking for a third party outside of the city and the bank.
Yeah.
That would say, yeah, this looks appropriate.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just regulation stuff from the OCC that we're looking for. I can certainly talk to Tom, reach out to him today and just, make sure that we've getting this thing rolling, for
Yeah.
sure. And,
Yeah, we don't plan on holding up the pre-con because we have, from the financial side, we've got plenty of dollars to, basically almost 600,000 to get the contractor moving, which should allow us to order to pay a portion of the move and order the steel. So I don't even think we'll need the bank's money until probably January, February at the rate the thing's going by the time we get the steel in, but it would be good to have it wrapped up here probably in the next 30-60 days
okay.
but I'm pretty confident that we'll get through it.
Yeah, I mean, I can reach out to him today, and then we have our board meeting next Tuesday. So, I'm sure I'll talk to him before now and then.
Yeah. And I'm more than willing to come over and talk or something. I just suggested today, since I was gonna be here, I'd swing down there and talk with him.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
probably had another appointment already. So that's that, but we have heard from the contractor, they're, working on their construction contract, bonds, certificate of insurance, so we'll have a pre-construction conference scheduled here soon. And the bank's welcome to come to that. We'll make sure they're invited if they'd like.
Okay, yeah.
Outside of that, there's a formality type of thing, this motion to execute the disadvantaged business enterprise policy statement revision. So every 3 years, the board adopts a ABE plan and a new goal and effort, which we're in the middle of a 3-year plan, but the FAA revised some of their standard language, which is not in the plan that you adopted. So all we're doing is adopting the previous plan you've already adopted with that slight legalese language. You know, the attorneys have to, I don't know, maybe they needed to send their kid to college or something, so they had language change, right? To build the FAA, right? Anyway, that's what that was about. I didn't print out copies for everybody because it's like 42 pages and it's a bunch of legalese stuff, so.
Does Pete need to sign it? And then do we need to post that on the airport page?
Not right now, because you've already adopted the goal and you advertise it. It's just saying that this, when you do, this is a policy, so the next time you go through the steps, which will be a year and a half from now, you will follow it, so
Okay.
he'll, yeah, we'll need to submit it with his signature, but we don't need to advertise. We're not changing our goal. We're not doing anything right now. Other than just acknowledging that the next time we go through it, we're gonna follow the new policy.
Okay.
So if you guys are good with that, we'll do that.
You looking for a motion?
Yeah.
Yep.
Looking for a motion.
Oh.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So,
And then the, consideration of draft 25 through the 2030 CIP. You've got a draft copy in front of you. Of course, it's really for the next, the 25 and 26 years, it's really, wrapped up in the hangar project, reimbursing ourselves from the hangar project. So, right now, that's basically, the CIP. After we get the hangar project reimbursed, then we're gonna go back to the south end of the runway and then to the parallel taxiway rehabilitations. So, we don't need to take action on that. It's not due till December 1st. But this is just circulated for your review, and we can get that approved next month if you'd like.
So do we need to take out the T hangar expansion, 6 units? Just for formality reasons?
So the T hangar, that's a type 2 project.
Okay.
So I didn't notice that was in 25. We probably want to move that out to 26 or 27. So the type 2 is that state local program, so it's a 50-50.
Okay.
And there is actually money in an account now at the state level that they can use for those projects. But right now, because of the bipartisan infrastructure legislation, they're using that account to match the additional bipartisan projects. As soon as that's done, and which the last year's 26, then they'll start doing some of these other projects. So maybe we move it to 27 actually. And then the question will be, when we actually get there, if you can afford 50% of a T hangar, if you still want to do it, you don't have to. But the state likes to see a project in the plan. It helps them justify the program, so.
Okay.
So, yeah, you guys are welcome to look. I'll make that adjustment next time. I'll push that down there. And then, we'll go from there. Otherwise, that's all I had for you today.
Thank you, Paul. Whole business? I saw a note floating, what was the gentleman that wanted to,
Mr. Shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you won't be here like
but he wanted to move this from July to
till
September
September 23rd or that last week in September.
next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no action we can take on it now, so.
He said he was gonna call your office. He's asking us about some type of list.
He gave us a list. He wanted answers for all these. Needed a copy of the insurance. When we said yes, will they be able to serve alcohol? Does a bartender need special credentials? Restroom availability? How soon can they set up for the event? Outlets for lighting, restrictions on lighting, additional lighting, restrictions on decorations. I guess I can,
Copy of that.
I'll scan this and, send it to the board so we can discuss more or have the answers next meeting.
Any other old business?
So we'd also have, to discuss the cost of the rental. And that kind of stuff. So, yes, I'll send this out to everybody.
So if he calls me again, want me to tell him we'll have a decision next meeting.
We'll discuss more at
Yeah.
the
Okay.
October meeting.
Right.
I have
Andy,
no idea.
I think you had an issue under old business, didn't you? Drag strip?
Okay, I was gonna bring up your new, but
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we had talked about it.
are you ready for new business?
Sure.
Alrighty, so, Marion, airport up there, Marion, a couple months ago had I think their runway's like 5,800 feet, 6,000 feet, anyway. They had a company called Airstrip Attack, based out of Texas. I think they do 5 or 6 events throughout the Midwest and the country, and maybe in Ohio, Kansas, Texas, whatever it is. Well, the event in Marion that they had was they did a half-mile drag race, and incredibly well received. I don't know if that's the first year they've done it there or not, but I had some of my buddies went up to it. He said they kept the airstrip open, which was crazy because they had a G5 jet leave when they were in the middle of that. But the reason they did that, he felt he didn't know, he's not part of the airport community there. He's like, well, all I can tell you is people flew in, got out of their planes, then got in their cars and then raced, and then got back in their planes and left. And then somebody trailered their cars out. I mean, and the cars there are not just $10, $15, $20,000 cars. I mean, these cars are exotic cars they're running, and then other guys are bringing in other cars, cars they want to run off the street. I didn't go, but some of the pictures and some of the things he showed me was pretty neat, pretty neat to do. So I emailed them. It's been when I talked to you, after I talked to you, haven't heard anything back from them, but I think it would be kind of neat just to kind of kick the tires on it and see if it's something that they're interested in. I don't know if they are, considering they've got an event already in Marion. I don't know if they want to have a sister event with us because we're so close. I don't know, but if not them, I'm sure there are other entities out there that could put that on, and be a promoter for that and just run the whole thing. But I thought it was something else that we could utilize for the airport.
Tim was working with somebody or something.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them yet.
Okay. Yeah, the local group or
No, don't really have enough information yet.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I may reach back out to these guys again, if everybody's okay. I mean, Pete I'll be sure, I mean, just go ahead, and just see what it would take, see just all the ins and outs. I don't know it. You now know as much as I do about it, I don't know anything about entry fees. I don't know anything about what percentage they would take. I don't know what revenue would generate for the airport, and then you worry too about runway markings and having to repaint, it just, I don't know, but I thought it was pretty cool, pretty neat. So
It's been past the runway markings.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if, how it works with the 1,000 footers, if they move past that, but I mean, those guys, love the idea that it's a half-mile track or, well, it's over a mile, but they use a half mile instead of a quarter. So, pretty neat.
So they run a half mile.
Mhm.
Right, and they call it a drag race.
Yeah, do a half-mile run.
Dude,
More of a top speed run. There was a guy that set I think he set a land speed world record up there. And I can't remember what car it was in. But I mean, he did, 240 some mile an hour in this subclass of car, but he set it up there about a month ago, whenever it was up there. So,
I think it'd be neat to form a committee and go up and look at it.
yeah,
I mean, are they still running up do they,
no, it was a one weekend kind of thing. And I think they'll do it again next year in August is when it is. At least it was this year. So, I'm pretty
Interesting to
sure.
know if they have something else
Yeah,
not too far away,
yeah, maybe in the spring or something,
or
Um,
Florida?
even this year.
Huh?
I said Florida in January.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not, I thought somebody was running out of Marion or Muncie on a regular basis. Maybe it's Muncie, I'm
It
thinking.
might be Muncie. I'm not real sure. Muncie's got a drag strip up there, but I don't know if they're using their airstrip for that.
I
Especially
thought they
being a
had,
Class
but maybe
Delta
not.
at Muncie. I don't know if how that would work, but I think Marion's Class Delta too, isn't it? It'd have to.
No.
No, it's Class Echo, Golf Echo. Okay.
Yeah, and it's been going on a number of years. I
Has
don't
it?
know
Okay.
How long, but yeah. Mhm. And then there's other groups, I think it's Indianapolis Car Club or Classic Car Club or something, I don't know. They ran at Frankfurt. And the way they get out of the marking damage is they do rolling starts. They don't
Yeah.
do stop starts. So they, and they've incorporated theirs in a road rally.
Okay.
So there might be like multiple stops along and then they have like a grand finale. So they all road rallied. Like they had one stop north of Frankfurt, but then they stopped in Frankfurt. And they had the lunch at Frankfurt in the hangar and so forth like that. They queued on the parallel taxiway and then they would roll out onto the runway. And they had like a starting block at the rolling and you had to be, I don't know what it was, like 55 miles per hour at the start.
Yeah.
If you were over, then you got penalized or it didn't count or something. And then they had to finish down there and then they rolled out so that you wouldn't get burnouts on the paint. And yeah, it was real popular. It was a pretty good moneymaker for the airport. And then they left there, they went to the Motor Speedway and then the final was down in Gatlinburg. They did like the Dragon, that Dragon Road thing.
Tail of the dragon.
Yeah, Tail of the Dragon, yeah, down there. So there's some kind of, I mean, they had fancy ones, McLarens and Ferraris
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And Marion too, doing exotics and stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway, I can look on my end and Tim, you can, look on your end and as long as we get somebody, that's
They don't
worth
close,
showing up.
they don't close the runway because the FAA gets grumpy when you close the runway.
That figured
So,
that was probably part
What
of
they
it.
do is they do the, like an hour prior permission request for flights. And so you advertise that the runway's open, but you make them call an hour and ahead. So that Gulfstream, and then there's not really anything set up on the runway outside of the timing equipment. And they put it off to the side, just outside the runway safety area. So you can have an aircraft operation that doesn't really bother, you just get the cars off. And the timing equipment is just outside the.
About people. You a lot of people that come to these events?
They had a lot of people and they kept them, so when the cars would queue, they queued on the parallel taxiway. And they actually put some barricades between the safety area, like at the hold bars on the connectors. That's where the safety area, so they allowed spectators up to that hold bar line and could watch, which is 250 feet from the runway, but that's still a lot closer than a lot of drag strips.
Mhm.
You can get, but there's no bleachers or anything.
No, I just didn't know how close people could get with spectators and
About 250 feet. They allowed them just to walk out there on foot, which I think for spectators, that was the only thing, because it's, you know, like from the terminal to the end of Frankfurt's, it's a mile. You know, mile walk out there and back.
Okay.
Any additional new business?
I've been, I've had a couple of guys ask me about getting the internet out in the hangars. I said, well, I'll bring it up, but, you know, I don't know what all that would be involved in that.
What did he say when we talked to him about?
I don't remember.
What, the short answer, yeah, we can do it. Long answer, who's gonna pay for it?
Well, yeah, I talked to them about that, everything's at a cost.
Yeah.
And, so I don't know if it would be a addition onto their hangar fee. I mean, I don't know how that would be.
I mean, I'm not sure it's something wonder if they could subscribe to Dish or, well, we still have to have internet though.
Yeah, you could probably, since there's, I mean, John Paz has obviously forgotten more about this and what I know, but, I don't know if you can run like a signal booster from the terminal, you know, and have its own.
Reach.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the signal disruption with all the metal in the hangars. It's beyond me, but, yeah, I mean, we've already got MetroNet out there with fiber. I'm sure that we can. I don't know if we could, you know, but it is an idea. I mean, I know there are some guys that obviously utilize, you know, iPads and ForeFlight for planning and whatnot and,
Yeah.
you know, things like that they'll use.
he's getting ready to go and answer your question.
Okay. Thank you.
Just so you know, we are testing out all of our Zoom capabilities on how to loop it in to put a live stream along next year.
Mhm.
So that's why we're doing this. I've been texting him back and forth the entire time, getting camera angles and figuring all this out.
Oh,
So we are going to be live stream next year. We won't have to. So he's just going through everything, testing it out.
Sure.
and I might have worn a better shirt.
Suit and tie.
Yeah. So the answer is,
Being
we're looking
investigated.
into, okay,
As soon as he jumps on, he can kind of clarify
yeah.
what they can do.
We had, what's the kid's name? Young man,
Stay in Houston.
yeah. Cause Ben put camera up out there.
We did internet for Tri-State, but it was line of sight. He stuck some poles up and then had to shoot line of sight out in front. So I don't know if that's something, same thing they can do there and shoot some line of sight repeaters or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't really think why they would need, but I'm just, why would they want internet, I guess?
Well, they got, a lot of those guys, or some of those guys got laptops in there. Some of those guys got desks set up in their hangars
Oh, I see.
and,
Yeah, but don't they have hotspots?
Don't have reception with the phone. I don't. I have very little reception with my cell phone in our hangar. It's there, but like when I'm on ForeFlight with my tablet, it's spotty. And so if I'm trying to do you know, going to plot across country or something, it takes forever. So I step outside and do it that way, then it, you know, because I just have reception to my cell phone or my cell phone carrier. But it's kind of choppy in there a little bit. So I don't know how much better it would be with Wi-Fi though, if you put, you know, like I say, John's
He's on right now.
okay. He's gonna know 10 times more than I would.
Hey, John,
Yes, what questions did you have?
they want to know how hard it'd be to get internet in the hangars.
External Wi-Fi is not going to penetrate all the metal that's made, you know, that the hangars are made out of. So you'd have to have a distribution system, maybe a central node, and then redistributed via Cat5 to individual Wi-Fi transmitters in each hangar. That would be the most effective way, I would think.
How much would that cost?
Oh, $5,000 to $10,000 maybe. just guessing. You'd have to, of course, provide, get your provider. And if you're dealing with multiple hangars, you've got to make sure you have enough bandwidth to cover all of that as well. We probably need to contact, somebody local for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What you, I mean, what you did during the food truck thing.
That was because it was all outdoor. We tried
Oh,
to
okay.
signal out the trucks so people could process their credit cards. I think what he's saying is if you do that with the hangers, the metal will block.
Metal block it.
So somehow you gotta get a feed to the hanger, and then you have to wire each individual hanger up.
Yeah. Yeah, going router. Just like you would for a building.
Well, my building's metal and we have problems with it all.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well,
Hey, now we know.
yeah.
All right. Questions, comments? Anybody?
Is, Granger gonna send you a check or?
I
Or is that
contacted him. I went on vacation 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
I know, I'm still playing catch up.
Is he gonna go through the court system or is he?
No, well, I think what he wants to do is pay with the credit card. So if it's okay with you guys, he can pay my office with a credit card and
Well,
we'll
we
do
can take credit cards now.
here.
is there a fee associated with it?
Yes, 3.5%.
I don't know.
He
what
has to
my
pay
fee
it.
is. Yeah. Or he can pay my office too and we'll disperse you a check, whichever you prefer.
Doesn't matter.
So the amount would be, because he did pay a deposit. So the amount I quoted him, if I'm correct, would be $1,350, which that includes subtracting because he paid a $300 deposit. So that would
All
cover,
your fees.
that would include my attorney's fees and the 1,200 minus his deposit. $1,350.
Okay, so yeah, just have him pay you and then you can pay it
Mhm.
and subtract your fees and
And
then,
then pay you directly. Yep, bring you a check.
okay.
I figured that was easy. That's what I discussed with him. So, yeah,
Okay.
that was on my list to do this week. If you can imagine, I haven't completed my last week's back from vacation list, but yes.
Yeah.
So I knew we had a meeting today and just like, yeah, we've got it set up and he said, no, sounded good.
Okay. Thank you for all your work.
Well, it's about, shoot, on the wrong day.
Oh,
And it was the day her brother-in-law had just passed away, like he was dealing with a lot. It's like, but this is the worst mistake,
Well.
All things can be fixed.
yes.
No one has anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Right.
Okay.